Good afternoon, everybody. Actually, before we talk about freedom of expression, first of all, we have to talk about freedom of thought. And because in the Arab world and the Islamic also world, if we could say, we have only one kind of thought. And everyone or anybody tries to escape this dogma or to try to be different, to pray in a different lie, or not to wear a white dress on Friday, then he's considered to be odd and not to be normal. Because in our societies, we live like in a machine that produces copies of each other. There is no individuality. However, when I came to Europe, I felt that some people they have some feedback about the Western individualism, that everybody is taking care about himself, and there is a social contract in society that's based on civil laws, and everybody knows the rights and the duties, but in the same time, I am, as an individual, free. I have my liberty. I have the right for choice. So if I try to dig in my memory and try to find out why I am here right now, actually I should go back to the memories of the childhood. I should go back to the Quranic school when I had to quit my study at public school and go just to be produced for a future which didn't choose me to be an imam. And some events happened. I was sick. I quit the Quranic school and I went back to my high school. And there, many of you would ask, how could this young man start blogging or writing, expressing himself freely? Yes, I really did that. I was, of course, scared. I knew that there will be, it's quite dangerous. But I thought that maybe I could protect myself. So I decided to start blogging anonymously. I had two blogs where first I launched online. I was writing about poverty, about social issues, about my views or my criticism to the Moroccan politics. This blog, however, that I was writing there with my real name, didn't get the attention of the people. What gets their attention is the second blog, where I was writing anonymously about my atheism. Really, I was just, as a student, for example, when I go to study the Islamic education, they tell us that Abraham, his people, throw him in fire, but it didn't burn. But as soon as I get to the philosophy subject, the philosophy hour, then the teacher starts talking about logical thinking and scientific thinking. So it's what kind of paradox. To discuss it, you are not allowed. To have such discussions and to ask this question is exactly no way. To ask you in your family, of course, that's not a good background for such questions, or with your friends. Then I just found the blogs. There with the level of reading and trying to search questions for my answers, start blogging. Anyway, until the day when the blog became famous and I started receiving the threats since the beginning of the blog, but they were just threats against the blog or against a person X. Nobody knows who is he. And then one day I received the threats and they were my full name with the phone number, which was a landline subscription, the provider of the internet. And later I understood it was through the IP and they could find the identity of the person who's using this line. And then many people, they would say, why did you introduce yourself, why did you claim it publicly that you be an atheist? You know, it's like suicide. It's like if someone takes an Israeli flag and goes to a camp of Hamas. Yes, it is. Because in our societies, we could tolerate someone to be an atheist, but not an atheist and activist. An atheist who says, I am Moroccan and I have the right to advocate for a secular constitution, to remove Article number 3 that mentions Morocco as an Islamic state, to say that my sister has the right to inherit it the same as me, and so on. So I had my first interview with the media, with France 24, and before that, when the scandal started online, I still was going to my high school. The thing happened there that normally, usually, the students are not interested in such things. When they go to Facebook, they go to chat or to share pictures. But as Islamic teacher, he brought his computer to the school and he started showing the students, look, this guy, what he's doing. This guy is infidel, he's an apostate, he should be killed, you should boycott him. So when I was going to school, I heard people screaming at me, throwing stones, and like a mob of people. I get inside, nobody wants to talk to me, just my friend who used to sit close to me, he says, we knew everything, shut up and don't talk to us anymore. The next day, I was full with questions. I had doubts that he knew exactly what's going on. So I went to the director of the school to complain. And as soon as I get to him, he starts saying, oh, you are working for a foreign agenda, and you are here to shake the faith of the Muslims or of the youngster, your classmates. You are being paid for that. And in our criminal code, penal code, that's shaking the faith is punished by jail. So if I just have a discussion with my friend about Islam or about God in general, that means I'm shaking his faith. So no way for critical thinking or for discussion at all. Just take it as it is and live with it. So he starts shaking my head with the wall of the office. I lost conscience. I woke up at the hospital with a medical certificate for 21 days. I went to the police to report and they just listened to me, but they were asking why the people are threatening you and by death, and why the teacher at first time beat you up. I told them it's not the question of why. If someone has something to do with me, he will come to you. He will not threaten me by death. This is according to the law. It should be forbidden. And nobody allowed to beat me up. There is justice and there is laws. That's what I want you to apply here. So they didn't really take me seriously. However, I made a lawsuit, and they still have copies of them against the teacher, against the director, and also this anonymous person who threatened me. Yeah, the police, they could investigate and find. For the terrorists, it was easy to find me, but for the state, cannot find someone who's threatening and using internet in the territory of the country. So I had, the situation gets worse where I live in my village. They started talking about me and mentioning me at the mosques. And I came from a small village, so the news spread around. And I still remember very well the amount of fear I had inside, especially with my family, when my father comes to me to my room and he says, yes, we knew that this happened, but is that really you who was speaking in France 24? I cannot believe this. I know you that you spend most of your time like a nerd inside with your computer, but I never knew yet that you are doing such things. So it was quite a hard shock for the family itself, or not small family and the big family. Some members of the family boycott us, because as I said the first, we are not individuals, we are communities. And if someone of us made mistaken according to the morals of the community, then the whole group is rotten, and it's nasty and not nice. So I had to go and live in hidden. I was traveling through the cities of Morocco, spending few nights with several friends that I trust. And the media in Morocco, they started publishing my pictures, and the video was uploaded to several channels on YouTube with France 24. And then I felt I need to do something which might take me away from this dark situation. So I found a way to the Swiss embassy, which I'm very thankful to Switzerland. However, recently I heard that they closed this option to apply for asylum from the embassy. This was the only option for me at the time. So I went to the embassy, and the thing which I would like to address to the embassies, to the organizations, international organizations, pay attention to the local staff working with you. The local staff there, who's a Moroccan, when I get in, I ask them, I'm applying I want asylum. I was shaking and almost crying, and they told me, go away. But I was wise. I told them I'm not leaving before I meet someone who represents Switzerland. Then a lady came. I waited about half an hour, and she came to me. She was really friendly. And then the Swiss ambassador himself came, and we made an appointment to come again for an interview. So this happened to me, and happened also to another friend of mine, who's Ghazi El-Badji, atheist from Tunisia, was sentenced to 7.5 years of jail. He escaped first from Tunisia to Algeria, and in Algeria, at the UN Council of Refugees. He went there, he met an Algerian man, a local staff again, and he told him, I am here applying for asylum, please help me. You know what he said? The local staff, go back to your country and apologize to your people. What you did is a shame. This is considered to be a human rights organization, which is based on the universal rights, not the human, because also in Morocco we have human rights, but maybe we are still struggling with the first generation of human rights. We are still struggling with the rights for education. Yes, they are very important. And I was also fighting for that. I was in the Moroccan Association of Human Rights. I was in the Moroccan Center of Human Rights. I'm an active member and the leader for the a youth group. And we did a lot in this. But in the same time, how can I be a human rights activist and deny myself the right to be a free thinker, a critical thinker, the right to be different and be respected, and they don't deny me the right of citizenship in Morocco. So anyway, and also in Morocco during this time, my friends, and that I use it to call comrades, then this word should be enough to give you an image of what kind of person I was, they didn't like to support me officially. They said we will not support an atheist and the right communiqué of solidarité avec an atheist, when we are working with the laborers and with the farmers. We will just lose our image in front of them. So even the human rights organizations in our countries, when it comes to individual liberties, to sexual freedom, to talk about, yes, we live in a world of globalization. I'm not different from you. However, that I live there. I have same rights within about the way of thinking, the philosophy. Probably I read the same books as you did. So what I address on you, and what I would like to demand, not to consider this conference as we are reading a novel for Marquis de Sade, because when we are listening to these testimonies, people feel like a misery, and you feel from inside like you are looking to some disgusting images. You try to picture them by your mind, but at the end you cannot. When you hear from North Korea or from Iran or Morocco, however, it's a different example, but in special context. So I call the individual on you. I don't call UN. I don't call human rights organizations. I call individuals within these organizations and abroad these organizations to be able to do something, to be able to move on and to try your best. Because as soon as you will, people, probably some of you, will go out, then this will be like entertainment for a few hours. We'll listen it, and we feel very happy here in the West and thank God or thank whatever, then we pass on. So please, everybody is responsible. Everybody, if we really belong to this species called human beings, and if we still some humanity, and we still belong to the principles of the French Revolution or the principles we studied at the primary school, solidarity, justice, then everybody is responsible, not only we. I tried my best to summarize my story, and I thank you for listening. And thanks to UN Watch and for making this event real, and also all the people who sponsor it, and thanks again.